there's so much similarity in our histories. We all have similarities. If we can look past our divisions, if we can look past our differences,
Right.
we can see the similarities and we can get along.
Thank you so much, Adam, for coming on this podcast, and we welcome you on this show. I hope you are doing well. Can you please tell to our audience about yourself?
Sure. So my name is Adam Gregory McKinley. I live out in the Sierra Nevada mountains here in California. I am a martial arts teacher, a yoga instructor, and kind of a celebrity fitness trainer.
Okay, that's great. So right now, which is your you expert in, like in martial art, in yoga, or like in fitness, or all of them? Which is your favorite subject?
You know what? I guess it would be kind of like wide spectrum for me. I like to kind of like work on all areas. Like obviously, I'm not as adept in yoga as I would be in martial arts. I think that I am kind of more adept in the martial arts than most things that I do. But I've kind of taken on some more things. Like I'm kind of learning to do Reiki right now, and I'm learning, like I said, to do yoga. So yeah, I'm kind of just crunching it all in there, just kind of forming it all in.
So, since how long you are, doing martial art, yoga, and all these things?
It's been a long time. So I got involved in the martial arts when I was about 11 or 12 years old.
Mhm.
And that was in Reno, Nevada, which is the next state over here, next to California. And I got like my junior black belt like when I was about 12 or 13 years old. So I've been doing it roughly. I mean, I'm 42 now, so it's been a long time,
Okay. So when you was 12, you got which belt you got?
It would be like a junior black belt, just basically like they're just black belts for like kids. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of a little thing. I don't know if, kids at 12 really understand what a black belt is or what to do with it, but it was just kind of something that I had gotten. And I just kind of, was really, I really immersed myself in the martial arts. I loved it. I grew up watching the films, grew up watching all the media that surrounded it. And it just it grabbed me and it captivated me. And I just got really involved in it.
Okay, that's great. So I can say it's your passion now, is it?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Martial arts is definitely my passion. It's something that I live, eat, breathe, sleep, and drink for sure.
Oh, that's cool. So in martial art, like I don't know more about martial art, but I hear like they have different kind of techniques. How many techniques they have in martial art?
Well, I mean, that would be kind of maybe like a wide spectrum question. I don't know if I could actually answer that because, I mean, there's so many martial arts systems available. And I don't know, the majority of them. I know a very few martial arts systems myself. I could tell you that in the very few that I know that there's, hundreds of techniques. I try to take what I've learned and kind of like mix it all together. I mean, for me, martial arts is very much an individual task. I think that it's an individual walk for every person in the world, so it's, yeah, I mean, I would say that there would be hundreds of techniques within what I do, but outside in the world with all of the martial arts, I would say that there's probably endless techniques because they're, constantly being evolved and created. So
Right. I can understand that. Like every country have like different kind of masala or something in the technique.
sure, sure,
They
sure.
make
Well,
it
again,
easy
it's, like
and
you and I talked before about Kalari, which is a system that's based in India. And a lot of people don't realize that Kalari is the grandfather of all martial art systems. It is the basis for what eventually became Kung Fu, and then Kung Fu kind of turned into like bases for karate, and it kind of just went on and on and on. So yeah, I mean, there's just so many various forms and so many various techniques available, and like I said, going back to Kalari is so old. It's so old and rich in tradition. It goes back thousands and thousands of years. So there's been a long time to kind of build on that and create on that and make it evolve.
oh, okay. So it's the older version, like people are changing the names and techniques and giving the different names.
Sure. Well, sure, like kind of like what I've done, is I mean, I think all martial artists are different. We're all on different walks. We all have different opinions. But I think that it's important for martial arts to evolve. There's a lot of martial art systems that I personally feel maybe haven't evolved as much, and that kind of makes it an issue because I mean, people are evolving, kind of like our tech and kind of like everything else in the world. We have to evolve and we have to keep moving on and finding better paths and better ways to do things. And so I think it's really important for those rich traditions to evolve, and it's easier, I guess, for those traditions to evolve when they're so old, and they're so grounded in history.
Hmm. Yeah, right. I can understand that. And you said you like train to celebrity also.
Yeah, so I actually got to work with Sean Kanan, who was a member of Cobra Kai. He was in the movie Karate Kid 3. He was also in the show Cobra Kai, which is on Netflix currently. He played Mike Barnes, which was a sensei in Cobra Kai. He actually came out here to the Sierra Nevada mountains, and I was able to train with him. And it was an amazing experience. He's an amazing person. I had a very excellent time, and that kind of led on to me getting an article in Black Belt magazine, which was an amazing, amazing thing for me. I mean, to get into Black Belt magazine, it was kind of a lifelong dream for me. So,
Oh, that's great. So you train him for the Cobra Kai movie, or like for any
well,
other?
he definitely, Sean's a very good martial artist. He definitely has previous training that I hadn't given to him. But yeah, we definitely got together and we worked together. I think that he kind of came out here to kind of hone in his kicking abilities because he saw me online and saw that I was producing like material, saw that I was doing a lot of, fancy kicks and stuff. And one thing led to another, and we got to talking, and we just decided to have him come out, and he ended up staying at the house here. And like I said, it was a great experience. I was a child when I was growing up watching Sean in the movies.
Yeah.
So, I grew up and he was kind of one of my heroes growing up. He was this, big bad karate guy. So it definitely had a lot to do with the institution. So,
Oh, that's great. It's you are lucky that you are watching this movie. No, you were kid, and one day you got a chance to train him. So it's a good.
oh, absolutely. And you know what? Like, that's another thing too I want to bring up. Like, always believe in your dreams because I'm from a very, very, very I'm from a very small town in the desert, and there's not a lot of things going on there, and there wasn't a lot of opportunities. And I think that a lot of people get down on themselves and they say, "Oh, well, I'm from this place or I'm from that place, and I don't have the opportunity." You can dream anything, and you can make anything happen, and you can manifest anything as long as you believe in it.
So right now, you are the full time, you know, a martial art trainer. and a yoga instructor, right? That's
Yes,
really
sir.
okay. That's great. And I saw some of your, some pictures on your profile that you share about Shiva, Lord Shiva. Okay, you have
Yeah,
interest in Shiva and Hinduism, and all about it. Also,
absolutely. I would say, I guess about 6 months ago, I kind of was just in kind of one of those really kind of bland, stale areas in life. Nothing was moving, nothing was working my way, and kind of was dealing with, anxieties and depressions from just everyday life. And just kind of out of nowhere, I had this kind of, I guess you could say, epiphany or experience, and it was just maybe just kind of a sense of enlightenment. Um, and it was different than anything I've ever experienced in my life. I grew up a Christian. So I had a Christian upbringing, and Hinduism or Lord Shiva, that was never, I never knew anything about those things, because here in the United States and in the West, it just wasn't something that was available to me. It could have been available to me, but it just never was. So I never knew anything about the existence of Lord Shiva, or the existence of I knew about Hinduism, but I had never looked into it. I had never studied it. I had never tried to experience what it had to offer. So, um, like I said, I kind of, in my life, I've been on all walks of life. I've tried to, look into pagan religions, or, religions that my ancestors would have looked into, or, I tried to look into any and every way to kind of get closer to what God would be, or the idea or perception of God. And you know what? Not that those wouldn't be good ways for other people to try. It just wasn't a good way for me to try. So getting back to it at 42 years old, I had this religious epiphany and this experience. And I kind of had a dream, and I saw like what would be a guru in my dream, like sitting in front of me, like literally. And I've had never had any experience of Hinduism or India or any of these things. And it was just this very, very, very moving dream. This thing that led me to look into other things. And so I started looking into Hinduism, started looking into, Lord Shiva, and started looking into things. And for whatever reason, and I can't prove it, I can't show anybody anything, for whatever reason, I just felt captivated by Shiva. I felt captivated by what people said about him, and what Hinduism said about him, and what was out there for me to read about him. And I just started having these experiences where I would be just captivated, and I would go into these like deep trances, or I would go into these very, very deep meditative states. And I really feel like I just had this very crazy connection to Lord Shiva. And it wasn't any other god in particular. I know that there's millions of gods in Hinduism,
yeah,
from what I've read. But there wasn't anything in particular other than just this major grabbing and pulling sensation from Lord Shiva. And for the last 6 months, man, I have just been happy. I felt amazing. My physical health has been amazing. Absolutely zero depression, zero anxiety, zero anger. It's almost like somebody came in and flipped on a switch,
yeah,
and it's been this amazing experience where, like, literally every night I just feel like his presence in my life. I feel him around me, and everything that I do during the day, or everything that I experience in the day, I'm constantly thinking of Lord Shiva. And so it's just been this crazy experience. And, there's so little that I know about Lord Shiva, because there's so much about him. But the little that I know, I'm just addicted, and I want to know more, and I want to know more, and I want to get closer, and I want to understand more. And again, man, this isn't this isn't necessarily for everyone. Everybody has a different path, and everybody has a different way of obtaining truth or obtaining God. But this worked for me. And I got to tell you, It is the most amazing experience I've ever had in my life. I have never felt so loved or embraced. I have never felt so free to be just me, or to understand that God literally lies within me. Lord Shiva's here. He's not outside. It's not
Yeah,
somewhere I have to go to get
we
to him.
all
He's
have
here.
Shiva in our, we have to just understand. Okay, can you please tell me who tell you about Lord Shiva first in life? Because you are in America, you are born in Western culture.
Uh,
Okay, so who tell you
so
about, like, or you saw somewhere? Please tell me that story.
so the very first experience I ever had was my wife used to listen to Om Namah Shivaya by Krishna Das.
Okay.
And she loved Krishna Das, so she would play it. And this was 2 or 3 years ago. So every once in a while, she would play Om Namah Shivaya, and I would hear it. And at first, it didn't resonate with me, and I didn't really understand it. But the more and more that I continued to hear it, the more and more I felt like things were just different. And I was, I found that I was more focused and more. It's almost like the sound or the vibration of the chant just kind of it just it changed me, and I'm not going to beat around the bush here and try to tell anybody anything else. It changed me. It changed my life. So yeah, that would be, I guess, the first experience I had with Lord Shiva was hearing those words.
Shiva can change anyone's life. He's the god of all gods. Okay, that's why in India,
Absolutely.
in Hindi, we call Devo ke Dev Mahadev. It means he's the god of all gods, and Shiva is inside of everyone, like me, you. We have to feel him. Okay, if we trust uh, to Shiva or to anybody, if we just think about and just feel, okay, then you will got him, and everything will be fine. Whatever you will think, you will do the hard work, okay, then you will get everything in your life as well.
Absolutely. And that's the other thing I want to say too. It says when you look up Lord Shiva, or you see things on Lord Shiva, or if you read about Lord Shiva, it talks about how he so easily gives over his boons. He gives gifts, and he is very, very giving, and he's very blessing. And I got to tell you, I have never felt so blessed in all 42 years of my life than I do today, or that I have felt in the last 6 months.
I suggested you a book, and I'm again suggesting to everyone who watching this podcast. Okay, I will share the link also of the book in the description of this episode. You should read, you know, the Shiv Puran. Okay, Maha Shiv Puran. Okay, that is a book. Okay, maybe you can find it in English. Okay, in India it's in Hindi and Sanskrit. Okay, so you must read that to know more about Lord Shiva. Okay, more you will
Sure,
think
sure.
about him, more you will understand him, more you will be get him in your life. Okay.
And I just want to say this too. One thing that I kind of have been experiencing lately, and again, this is just personally my opinion. It's purely my opinion. It's not, like I'm saying, this is clear
Yeah.
cut evidence, but it seems like there's a lot of Lord Shiva in all cultures, in every culture. For example, when I look into the history of my ancestors, like the Irish or the Norse, or like I said, I have Norse ancestors, Scottish ancestors, Irish ancestors. Um, they have these stories of the gods, and you talk about stories about Loki or Odin or Thor. These stories also are very, very, very similar to the stories that come from Hindu mythology. For example, like Lord Shiva, there's heavy, heavy similarities to Lord Shiva and Odin, or Lord Shiva and Loki, and they share the same principles, and they do the same tasks, and they have the same kind of the job
Mm.
or the detail that they're in control of, or they're in charge of. And I think it's really interesting to note that people need to stop looking at the division and
Yeah.
realize that we all are the same, and that
Yes.
telling
What I think,
we're all telling the same stories. It's
right?
all the same story.
every god say the same thing to their followers, and that don't do anything bad to anyone. Okay, the same kind of thing. Okay, the way of talking, a way of telling, coming to us is maybe different, but they have the same message. Every god. Okay, so that's what I think. Okay, I believe. I don't hate like to any other religion, or you know I love every religion. I respect every religion. Doesn't matter if
Hmm.
it's Christian, Hindu, Muslim, or whatever. Okay, because and of everything, we all are human. Okay, we have same blood
Sure.
clot. Okay, we have same eyes, hands, and all. Right. So we are human. Okay, humanity
And,
first.
and and our beginnings are the same. If you look at the history of our beginnings, the stories that are historical books, like our cultural books, like the books that you have in Sanskrit, and the stories that are put there thousands of years ago, they equate to the same exact stories that my ancestors were equating to 1,000 years ago. And these
Right.
stories, they're very rich in that you can read the stories and there's so much similarity that the only difference lies on the fact that the region and the names are the only difference. And people need to start realizing that we're all believing in the same thing. We're all going to the same place. And,
Yeah.
and it's the division that's stopping that.
Right. You got it. People, if everyone understand this, okay, in the world, there will be no war, no fight. Everyone will be love. But you know, it's impossible. Actually, everyone can understand this. Okay, that we all are human. We should just think about humanity, not religion.
Sure.
So everyone can't do that. That is
And I think that once we start to realize that there's, like I said before, I said there's so much similarity in our histories. We all have similarities. If we can look past our divisions, if we can look past our differences, we
right.
can see the similarities and we can get along, and we can find an even ground. And I think that it's really, really important for people to start doing that, especially religiously. We live in a really, really scary world. We live in a real scary time where people are just doing crazy things. And I think that it's the only way that people are going to evolve is through loving other people. The only way we're ever going to get anywhere is through understanding. The division is keeping us spread apart, and we're strong together, you know.
Okay. Yeah. What else you do, like apart from you know, this martial art, yoga, and fitness? What else you do?
I'm very, very heavy, heavy, heavy in anthropology. I love learning about ancient civilizations. I love learning about cultures, anything that I can take in about like history in
Hmm.
general. I feel that there's so much to learn from history. I feel like we kind of take history for granted, and it's kind of this book for us to read. And hey, don't make the same mistake over and over again. Just read this book, and you won't make. You know what I'm saying? It's history to me is so important and it's so overlooked. And I think that there's all the answers that we seek are in our historical beginnings.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Great. So, like, you have like any very good experience or bad experience while you were learning, or in your martial art journey, like the whole journey? Do you have like anything you want to tell to the audience, a very good experience or a very bad experience in this martial art, or
I,
uh,
I would say that I've had good and bad experiences with the martial arts in general. I think that the martial arts community, which is the martial arts community here on places like Facebook or Instagram or kind of social media platforms, can be a very negative place. It can be a place where people are very cutthroat and they're saying very negative things to one another. It's a place of division, definitely. It's a place where people are trying to one up each other, and it's a place where people can also love each other and be supportive and kind of help one another out. So it's you know it. I'm writing a book right now about the martial arts community and about how it's just kind of very chaotic right now, and people have kind of lost. They've lost the originality or martial arts is about it's about self it's about martial arts to me truly is about somebody expressing themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like it's personal expression, it's independent expression, and it's turned more into I have the best black belt, or I have the best certificate, or I have a ninth dan, or I have a fifth degree black belt. It's not so much about tempering the soul and the spirit and the body. It's more about, hey, which plaque do I want to put my brand new fancy certificate in, and can I show this off to somebody, or is somebody going to think that I'm some kind of grandmaster? And really, I just kind of think that people have lost the basis for what martial arts is. It's about self-expression. It's about self-building. It's not about anybody else. It's not about the guy next to you. You're not competing with anybody. I think that it's very skewed. I think that people in this community have a very skewed idea about what things should and shouldn't be. To me, the martial arts is about becoming better than I was the day before. It's about me becoming the best person that I can possibly be in life, as a family man, or as a businessman, of all walks of life. I think that it's there to empower us, to make us better. It's not there to give us the idea that we can break people down or make them feel worse about themselves. And I think that generally, unfortunately, 70% of the martial arts community is very specific in doing just that, breaking people down and making people feel negative, and kind of transferring that negative energy. And really, we don't need to be that way. You know,
Yeah.
we just kind of need to be supportive of one another. Look, like, I'm not in competition with the guy that I see on the video after mine. I'm not out there trying to compete with him currently. I might have been in the past, and I'll admit it. You know, I think that a lot of social media influencers, they kind of, scroll through the videos and they're like, "Hey, look at that guy," and like there's this kind of like secret kind of competition going between one another. But really and truthfully, like, I don't feel that. Like, there's no competition. Like, it's just about me empowering myself. Like, this is my personal walk. It's my personal experience, and it's my personal journey. It's not the guy next to me, and his opinion is invalid. It doesn't matter. Like, if you're out there and you're pushing yourself every single day, no matter what anybody believes about what you're doing, no matter what their personal opinion is about the way that you look, or the way that you've succeeded, or the way that you've done this or that, just getting out there and doing it is the act of manifesting. It is the act of manifesting will. And so people need to understand that instead of looking at the guy that you think is worse than you, or that you're better than, you need to lift him up, and you need to build him up, and you need to be a teacher and a guide to him, because you were in his place at one time. Like, we all had to begin somewhere.
Yes, right. Yeah, this kind of competition is not like in this community. It's everywhere, in every community, or in every business, or whatever. Like in yoga, also I saw lots of yoga teachers also fighting with each other on internet, just because if somebody is doing great, everyone should push him to grow up. Okay, to show the real challenge, okay, of yoga. It will help to the community to grow, more growth, more
Sure.
people will learn about it, so more work will be produced, it will be big industry or whatever. But people just pull the leg of everyone. Okay, they don't want like go to other person. Okay, that's
Sure.
everywhere. Okay, right. So that's the thing, bro. And I have like lots of question about martial art. I saw some of your videos. Okay, you breaking the coconut with your hands. Like how you do
Sure.
how you do that?
You know, I'll be honest with people. That's more of a it's more of a magic trick. It's just understanding the weak spot of the coconut. There's no like mystical power that I'm doing. I'm not like projecting any kind of like energy. It's just understanding where the weak spots are on the coconut, and it's understanding where to hit the coconut. It's more technique than it is being powerful or strong. It's kind of like I do a bottle break where I cut the neck of a bottle off with my hand. And people always go, well, how are you doing that? And it's not because I'm doing some magic. It's not because I'm magical. I'm using the buoyancy of the water in the bottle to act as the weight so that when I hit that specific area on the bottle, it chips right off. And
Yeah,
so again,
it's
these are
science.
kind of
Science.
they're magic tricks. It's kind of like brick breaking. I think people look at these types of things, and don't get me wrong, it takes some strength. It does
Yeah.
take some technique. It does take
Everyone,
some doing.
everyone can't
But
do.
I think,
Everyone can't
oh,
do.
but
Yeah.
yeah, everybody can do this. It's not a
No,
hard thing
I
to
don't
do.
think.
It's just the understanding.
Yeah, it's need practice. It's need practice for that. Like if anyone wants to do, it's need practice and like hard work or need to learn the things. I saw people break like the lots of big ice cubes and all lots of things they break with
Oh,
hand.
sure,
All lots of
sure.
things found in a net.
Well, and you know what? I'll tell people this. Again, all life is about manifesting.
Yeah,
If I look at the big block of ice and I convince myself I'm going to break that ice, I promise you that if you fully convinced yourself you're going to go through that ice, you will go through that ice. It is merely the question of whether or not you're going to hesitate before impact. And this is kind of where people get really lost in breaking bricks and ice and all these different things is they hesitate or they have that final kind of oh wait and they kind of hit it and it hurts their hand and sometimes they break their hand or sometimes they cut their hand and really and truthfully it's about manifestation. It's about knowing and believing in yourself. It really is. It's about kind of also too without sounding like some kind of really spiritual guru right now. It's becoming one with what you're kind of we're all the same thing. We're all the same. Every one of us,
yeah,
we're not different. We're all the same. So everything is a part of everything, you know?
right.
And when you understand that you can break the bottle and you can break the brick.
Yeah. So what is your like future planning? Like, do you have any project right now?
Absolutely, absolutely. So here in a little while, as you know, I'm gonna come out and see you in India, and we're gonna do some
Yeah.
traveling.
When are you coming India? I'm also.
I'm coming. I'm coming soon, man. We're gonna, like I said, I want to go to Kailash, Mount Kailash, and again, I want to have that true experience, and I really want to learn, yoga from a true practitioner. Not that there's not true practitioners here in America, but
Yeah.
you know me, and I want to get that original organic flavor.
In India, actually, there is a place called Rishikesh. That is the capital of yoga. Okay, in the world, you can say. So, if you want to learn the yoga and the spirituality and all, okay, that place is very good for you. That is in like mountain also. Okay, so there are good teachers. Okay, gurus. They can teach you. Okay, very good yoga. Then practice there. I'm also even
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
for yoga teacher training. Okay, for maybe next month I'm going to learn. Okay,
um,
yoga. Okay, I did when I was like kid. Okay, but again I need that because it's good for health for me. Okay, and
sure.
I will like lots of my friend also asked me that you are from India. Can you please tell me one yoga? Can you teach me one yoga? So at least I can teach them.
Sure.
I can give them, right?
So, and that's the other thing I wanted to talk about too, is I think that a lot of men, especially here in the West, they have this idea that yoga is more kind of a feminine thing. And it's definitely not. I want, men to know that yoga is life for me. I
Yeah.
don't know about other people. Yoga has absolutely saved my life. It has, my
Yeah.
health is
Can fix
is
any injury you have inside your body. It can like it's amazing thing for your body, and the meditation is good for your mind. Okay, so everyone should do yoga and meditation if they really want to live longer in the life. Okay.
well, and you know what? I think that too, talking about meditation, I actually honestly, and as a martial arts teacher, I'm actually kind of ashamed of this. I've really lacked the ability to meditate in my life. It's been very, very hard for me to kind of find the ability to quiet my mind, and find that place of just complete nothingness. And because I know that, in that place of nothingness, that's where we find ourselves. And it's really hard for people in America, like, to slow down, and to find the time to kind of just take that time away from everything and to cut everything off. We're so wrapped up in the media and the way of things in the world that we forget that quietness is so essential. That time that we have to take away for ourselves to kind of that's how we heal. That's how we get better. That's how we, that meditation time is so empowering. And so just recently I learned how to kind of find that nothingness, that place of nothingness. And not that I have fully found it, but that I have come to that ability to where I can actually quiet my mind, and focus and kind of really enjoy and understand what that quiet place has to offer. Again, it's something that I want to reiterate. As a man, I absolutely urge every other man out there watching this to get into yoga, to learn yoga. If you have, like you were talking about, if you have medical problems, if you have physical health problems, mental problems, depression, anxiety, it will heal everything.
Okay, so what's your plan in India when you will come?
Definitely want you to take me to that place that you had posted on your social media where there's the big statue of Lord Shiva. I have to see that place.
That
It
is
looks
a
it looks
foundation in India, Sadhguru's ashram. You hear about Sadhguru?
Oh yeah. Oh man, I've been watching Sadhguru now for about 6 months, and just an amazing, amazing speaker. He's definitely helped in my walk with Shiva, helped me understand a little bit more about Shiva as a Westerner. And he's definitely a brilliant, brilliant mind. Brilliant mind. I mean, the man is
Uh,
just, he has a beautiful way of expression and a beautiful way of explaining.
right. He have like good knowledge, very good knowledge about. You can ask anything. He have answer of everything. Okay,
and
and
and what and I love his answers. His answers are direct.
yeah,
It's not like he gives you some kind of like parable that you have to break and dissect and cut down. He just gives it to you, and it's there.
but he right now he have like one ashram here in India, Coimbatore, where I went, and I feel like first time I went there. Okay, and I went on there with an American, NRI. Okay, so she came here. Okay, and she was traveling with me in Rishikesh, then Tirupati. Then she told, she asked me to come there because one day before she left me, I was here. She told me, come here. I am going to start a yoga course, so it will be, done tomorrow. So take a flight and come here. Then I went there, and we had a very good experience. I one night I stay there. Okay, there is rooms in ashram. Okay,
Oh
food
wow.
and everything. Yeah, free food, lingers, and all lots of things, lots of benefits you will get when you will reach there. Like the vibe is amazing there.
And let me ask you a question, AJ. What was your experience like there? Did you have like an uplifting experience as far as spiritually?
Yeah, I posted a video, okay, on my wall also, sharing my experience, okay. So I was talking with her about the experience I had. I will send you the link, and that was like amazing experience when I visit there. The vibe, like feel like there was amazing feel. I can't like even explain you. Okay, amazing.
I'll bet.
When you will visit there, then you will understand. I can't express in the words.
Oh, sure. Well, I'm sure it's individual and
You can't.
it's probably different for everyone.
Yeah, when you will visit there, okay, there are like you can't speak loudly. You have to slow speak
Very quiet.
quiet with each other. The first thing. Then they give the food twice in a day. Okay, the food will be free for everyone, and the food will be the sattvic food. Sattvic food is like it's natural, without any like bad things like masalas and all. That will be very good for health. Okay, it's called sattvic food. Okay, and they have like the cart. Okay, the bull cart. Okay, to travel to the ashram. Okay, there will be a cart. The bull will take the cart. You just need to sit. Okay, and they will go and drop you on your rooms. Okay, on rooms there will be room facility. All kind of rooms they have. They will give you a band here, so you just need to show the band, okay, to the bull rider. Okay, they will pick you and drop you when you want to go. Then people you will see there, they will be all will be like something, not like any idiots. They will be like intelligent people you will see there, because from around the world. Okay, when you will go, people I saw, I met with, I make many friends like who was like billionaire, okay, having like big companies, and they are
And
coming just for
and see
the space.
that's crazy. That's crazy to me that like you said, there's people from all over the world. Like Lord Shiva reaches out to everyone,
Everyone.
everywhere. And I love that, that there's people coming from every different corner of the earth to just see Lord Shiva.
Yeah. So I told you the Shiva has like different kind of energy. Okay, one
Yeah.
they feel that energy. Okay, they start following him. Okay, that's what I think.
Oh, I'm
I even have like a
look.
tattoo also of Shiva.
Yeah, see, I love that one. And you know what, man? Like I feel that. Like literally, like without trying to seem kind of just strange or out there, like I feel that energy, that vibration every single day so much that, like I said before, there's nothing like it. There's nothing that compares to that energy that you feel when he's around you, and it's like, again, man, like that experience, it can change a person. It can change an angry person, a
Yeah,
totally violated person. It can change a person that has nothing to live for into a person that has everything to live for, and it's like, it's just amazing. It's really beautiful.
right. Okay. So on the first plan, you said you will go to Adiyogi temple. No, sorry, Adiyogi statue, which is in Sadhguru Ashram. The second thing, what you gonna do?
Definitely want to go to, I don't know who it would be, like I said, but I definitely want to go see some
Yeah,
yoga
you just
practitioners.
visit to Rishikesh for that. Okay, you read about it. There will be lots of ashrams. Okay, hundreds of ashrams are there for just yoga, different type of yoga. They will, techniques they have. Okay, everyone have different techniques. Okay, where I'm going. Okay, uh, if you are coming like very soon, if there will be plan, you can let me know. Then we will go together. Okay, because I
Okay.
also have to, I'm also thinking to learn. All right. Uh, And I will show you some other places also in India. You're gonna fall in love with India. India is
Oh,
beautiful.
I'm sure. I'm sure, man. You know, one thing I have to say is it, your culture is so rich with the love for their gods.
Yeah,
And
but now what's happening? Okay, let me tell you. The Western people, coming and taking our culture. They like our culture. They are just going into our culture. But our people, the Indian guys, the new generation, they are going to the Western culture. So they, it's
there's a, there there's
they,
an exchange. There's
yeah,
an exchange. We're learning about each other, and
yeah,
I think that our cultures, there's so much difference, but I think that we're finding kind of that balance. And you know, it's kind of like I see, you know, there's a lot of that intermingling. I think it's so important for cultures to intermingle. I think it's so important for people to learn about one another.
yeah,
You know, kind
right.
of like when I was growing up, I always used to love reading about Alexander the Great and his story. You know, how he traveled to all these cultures and he learned. And you know, obviously he hurt people and he killed people and he took places over. But one thing that I always loved about him is he embraced the culture and he would embrace their cultures. He would learn about their cultures, and he would try to do whatever he could to make sure that things didn't change when he came into power. You know, that things kind of remained the same. And there's a certain respect there, and I think it's again there's a respect that's been lost. There's so much to learn from one another. You know, if we can just find that happy medium, we can learn from one another and we can really make something amazing. Like I said, there's just way too much division in the world. You know, if we learn to work together, we can make it a really great place to live. It's
Ah,
not that
yeah,
hard.
right, right. What are you? What do you have in your make? What is this? I can.
This is Lord Shiva.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. So I actually got that about 6 months ago, and I ended up I found it was like a silver piece, and it just had him on there, and I don't know, it felt really empowering to kind of put it around my neck, and so kind of reminds me every day that I look in the mirror or whatever that he's there. And you know, kind of the same thing that I do is every morning, right when I wake up and I get into the shower, I go, you know, I ask, you know, the Alexa to say, oh hey, play Om Namah Shivaya, you know, and so
What is
it's great.
what is the second one? The second.
So this is called a Mjolnir, and it's a symbol of like my ancestors' gods.
Okay.
So this is a hammer, like
Yeah.
Thor. He carried a hammer,
Yeah.
so it's just kind of a a thing that I carry around my neck. And it's always empowered me and made me feel really empowered. You know, and like I said, I've always been into history and mythology and stuff. So that's where I kind of found about the similarities. Like this Thor resembles Indra, the god Indra, so closely. They carry a weapon and they're thunder gods, and they have the same tasks and the same kind of things that they do in their job and their routine. And again, when people start to see that there's no difference, we've created the difference. The
Yeah.
That's it. You know that the stories are all the same. Nothing is
Same.
different. This to me is Indra is Thor and Thor is Indra. It's just that as cultures we tend to believe differently because we like it to represent us in a certain way, which is just ridiculous, you know?
Yeah. So, like, as of now, are you like teaching to anybody the martial art, like any celebrity or any new project?
Um, so I just recently, as you know, I'm trying to kind of put my website together, but I am definitely going to have some online classes available to those that want to learn. I think it's definitely time to do that. I think that it's definitely harder to learn for people online, but I think that it's a good way for people to definitely get started and to maybe kind of at least understand like a beginner's, method to it. Um, I want to start offering, yoga to people. I'm a practitioner in Reiki now, so I'm kind of doing Reiki daily, learning Reiki. I have a person, that lives pretty fairly close to me that's teaching me that. Um, and yeah, so I want to kind of, put it out there that I'm definitely available to people that are looking for the martial arts. And like I said, I'm definitely not the best martial artist. There's a lot of martial artists out there that are way, way better than me and way more adept, and they understand things way better than I do. But I'm available to those that want to learn.
Great.
And I feel that, I do have something to give. And I think that people just need to realize like that they need to start embracing a good balance, a positive balance. Let's get rid of the negativity. There's no reason to be negative anymore. We're not living in the past, and we're not running around beating each other in furs with wooden clubs. It's time for us to grow up, and time for us to start respecting one another and respecting each other's, cultures and our views. And when we start to do that, man, we're gonna find that things are gonna be so easy. It's not that hard. It's we as human beings tend to make everything hard. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah. Okay, great. Best of luck for your
Thank you.
website and all
Thank you.
that. It will be ready. I will put your website into the link of this, description. Uh, and if somebody will be interested after watching this video, they can join you. Okay. All right.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So thing. And uh, do you have interest in like politics also?
Um, so I kind of try to stay away from politics. I'm afraid of politicians. I don't like any politicians. I kind of feel like I don't know. Politicians are kind of put there in place for us to be divided. I think it's just another way to divide us as people. And I kind of every once in a while I'll be scrolling through my Facebook or my Instagram, and I'll see the feeds that it's the politicians that divide the people, and when the people find out that they're strong together, then they don't need that. And it's kind of like I America has some crazy politics. It has insane politics. Look.
Every
I'll be honest
country,
with you.
every country have the same thing.
I know. I kind of feel like we're on the spotlight. I kind of feel like the things going on in our country are like really viewed, and that there's a lot of people watching it. But I tend to kind of um, I tend to stay away from politics as much as possible. I think that it can get really chaotic, and it can get negative. And I think that, initially if people get into politics because they want to change things and they want to make the world better, that, initially that's usually the reason, but most of the time it doesn't end up being that way. And it's a really, really that's a touchy subject. It's easier for me to discuss religion than it is politics, and that's crazy. It's one of those things.
Yeah. Or you hear about like some of the wars going on in geopolitics, some
Oh
wars.
yeah. Oh, it's crazy. Look,
Yeah.
look, I mean, people the differences are really sad, and I feel like the differences are kind of they're fueled by greed. They're fueled by purely just greed at this point. I don't think that there's anything else other than just these kind of greedy people making these decisions, and it kind of just it falls down to like, people as a whole have given certain individuals too much power. And we need to realize that we are the ones. And it's kind of like here in America, we have our, our amendments set before us, and we have, all of our rules and our regulations. And I always think about how it says we the people. And what does that mean to me? What is we the people? Well, I mean, we're the ones that should be calling the shots, the people. Not the individual little politicians. It's about us as a whole, and what we choose as a whole. And it's not like that anymore. So that's kind of like where I'm like, I don't want to be so politically driven, because I don't really just believe in the politics anymore. I kind of, Lord Shiva for president. That's easiest for me, man, because that's look, if Lord Shiva's president, we're all good. Everybody's good.
Okay. So you want Lord Shiva president for the whole world,
Yes,
or
Lord,
just
Lord,
one
Lord
country?
Shiva 2025, man. I want to put the American flag, and I want to have Lord Shiva there, because look, if we have him as president, it's all gonna be better. It's all
Yeah,
good.
everything will be better. Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you so much for coming in this podcast show. Okay, Adam.
Yeah, thank you for
And
having me very much.
I wish you the best of your journey, okay, your life.
Thank you.
And I welcome you when you will come here. Okay. If
Thank
you
you.
have
Thank you.
like a positive message you want to give to the audience who will watch this video today or after 10 year, 1000 year, till the time it will be on YouTube, on internet, if somebody will watch this video, do you have a message for them? Any positive or
You know what? If I have one message and it's just for my daughter. Her name's Alexis, and I just want her to know that I love her with all of my heart and all of my soul, and I can't wait to see her.
oh, yeah, you told me a story about. You can, if you want to discuss about it, you can tell.
No,
Uh,
I don't really. It's okay. I mean, it's kind of a long, kind of just blown out story. But I just, if I have anything to say or anything to leave for anybody, it would be my daughter, and just to let her know that I love her and that I'm here.
okay, great. Okay, thank you so much for your time again, and have a great day. Have a great life,
You too. You
and
too.
Lord Shiva bless you and everyone.
You too, man. You too.
Okay, bye.